Okay, so you've sent over some really interesting stuff, and it seems like you want to get to the core of it all,
Yeah,
understand what's really important without getting lost in the weeds.
absolutely.
Think of this as your fast track to understanding some pretty cool ideas about multidimensional healing.
Right.
Specifically, this system called Shimana Quantum Code.
Yeah.
It's from the book by Shama Shadro.
Uh-huh.
We've got excerpts that cover different healing approaches and personal growth stuff.
I see.
And what we want to do today is explore the main ideas and practical applications within this Shimana Quantum Code.
Right.
Particularly focusing on how it deals with protecting your energy and some of the techniques it uses for what they call accelerated healing.
Sounds good.
So we're going to unpack how you might prepare for a healing session in this system. The key stages of a session focus on emotional release and trauma resolution.
Okay.
And a pretty interesting accelerated healing method called cortices tapping.
Interesting.
This is where things get really exciting.
Yeah. What really jumps out at me is the thoroughness of this system.
Right.
This Shimana Quantum Code.
Yeah.
It's not just about fixing surface problems.
Yeah.
It's about building a strong energetic structure.
Yeah.
And then digging deep to get to the root causes.
Exactly. And it starts with this idea of protecting your energy, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 16 gives us some actionable steps. And this really connects with that common feeling of being overwhelmed or drained energetically.
Totally.
It's about taking charge to feel empowered,
I get it.
It begins with grounding and centering.
Yeah.
Can you take us through what that means in the Shimana Quantum Code?
Sure. The prep work is all about intention,
Okay.
creating a strong inner connection and setting a clear goal.
Right.
You start with 3 deep breaths into the heart area
Okay.
with the specific intention of opening up the heart chakra.
So that's...
That energy center, all about love, compassion, and connection, to be more open to receiving guidance. This conscious breathing is a basic practice in many traditions.
Yeah.
It highlights its role in being present in the moment.
Okay, so intentional breathing to be present and open up that heart space.
Right.
What comes next?
Then you visualize something called the sacred geometry of infinite love.
Oh, wow.
You picture this specific geometric pattern surrounding you,
I see.
like a boundary offering protection and a feeling of support.
Okay.
Geometric patterns have been symbolic for ages.
Yeah, across many cultures.
Exactly.
Oh.
Often seen as fundamental patterns in the universe.
Right.
It's about using intention
Yeah.
and symbols to create safety and an energetic boundary, which can be a powerful first step in any self-healing.
Interesting. So it's like creating your own personal energetic field with this specific protective quality.
Yes.
And then there's the chanting Shimana Om repeated 3 times out loud.
Yeah.
What's the meaning behind that combination?
Well, Om is a sound that appears in many traditions.
Right.
It represents the fundamental vibration of the universe, often linked to creation itself.
I see.
And then Shimana seems specific to this system.
Okay.
Maybe like a key or code to activate a certain frequency
Okay.
or connection within the Shimana Quantum Code framework.
Interesting.
Chanting out loud can be a powerful way to focus your intention and create a specific energetic resonance.
Okay, so breath, visualization, sound. It's very holistic,
Yeah.
involving multiple senses.
Right.
And then there's this visualization of white healing light coming from the 11th dimension.
Yeah.
It's pretty specific.
It is. The idea of higher dimensions comes up a lot in spiritual and metaphysical teachings.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, the 11th dimension is like a source of powerful healing energy.
Yeah.
You picture this white light entering through your crown chakra,
Right. Yeah.
energy center at the top of your head,
Right.
which is associated with higher awareness.
Yeah.
It flows down through all the other chakras, connecting with Mother Earth,
Okay.
and then returning to the source through your heart.
So it's like establishing a connection to a powerful energy source while staying grounded.
Exactly.
And then you activate the lotus flower at the third eye.
Yeah.
What's the symbolism and purpose of that?
The lotus flower has a lot of meaning in Eastern traditions.
Right.
It symbolizes purity, love, and rebirth.
I see.
Here, you visualize activating it at the third eye,
Okay.
the center linked to intuition and inner vision,
Uh-huh.
and then guiding it to the heart.
Okay.
This is supposed to integrate your intuition with your compassionate heart,
Interesting.
which is seen as essential for receiving balanced guidance.
Mind and heart in harmony. Makes sense. And then this lotus does some interesting things, right?
Yeah.
Rotating clockwise, emitting rays of light in golden spheres.
Exactly. The clockwise rotation is often associated with positive or expansive energy.
Okay.
The 12 rays of light represent guardian angels.
I see.
They offer protection and guidance. And the 16 golden spheres symbolize ascended masters, adding another layer of support and wisdom around you.
So think of these as like symbolic representations of benevolent forces helping the healing process.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a pretty detailed visualization.
Yeah.
And the goal is to be centered in the Merkaba, ready to begin.
Right.
For those who don't know, what is the Merkaba?
It's often described as a counter-rotating field of light and energy that surrounds the body.
Okay.
Usually pictured as two interlocked tetrahedrons,
Wow.
forming a star shape.
I see.
It's thought to be a vehicle for consciousness.
Okay.
It helps you connect with higher realms and expand your awareness.
Right.
Being centered in it means you're balanced and ready for the work ahead.
Like finding your stillness amongst all the swirling energy.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've gone through this whole preparation process.
Yeah.
And the last steps are setting the intention to go beyond ego and receive pure guidance.
Right.
And then specifically asking for help from your higher self, angels, and ascended masters. It sounds like a very deliberate and spiritual way to get ready for deep inner work.
It is. It's about creating a sacred space internally and externally, setting clear intentions and inviting support from higher sources.
Right.
If you think about it in a broader sense, imagine using some of these elements.
Okay.
Deep breaths, visualizing energetic protection,
Yeah.
setting a clear intention before a tough task, or when you're feeling overwhelmed.
I see.
It's a way to ground yourself energetically
Right.
and approach things from a more centered and empowered place.
That's a really practical takeaway.
Right.
Okay, so that's the preparation phase.
Yeah.
Chapter 16 also walks us through starting an actual therapy session using the Shimana Quantum Code, focused on emotional release and trauma healing.
Right.
It seems like those energy protection techniques we just talked about are like the foundation.
They are. It starts with opening the sacred space,
Okay.
a 5-minute ritual.
Right.
It reinforces that energetic container from the prep phase,
Oh,
but now within a therapeutic setting
I see.
between practitioner and client.
Okay.
It sets a clear intention and prepares the space energetically for deep healing.
So what does opening the sacred space actually involve?
It includes welcoming the client and stating the intention for the session,
Right.
and a formal invocation of the Shimana guardian angels, ascended masters, and the client's own higher self to guide and support them.
Okay.
Then you activate the sacred geometry of infinite love again,
Okay.
this time to create a protective and high-frequency field
I see.
around both the practitioner and the client.
So it's like creating a shared energetic sanctuary for the healing to happen.
Exactly.
And then you use a pendulum.
Yeah.
What does the pendulum do at this stage?
It acts as an energetic assessment tool.
Okay.
You use it to ask specific questions.
Like what?
Is the client's energy field open and ready for healing? Do they need energetic clearing before going deeper?
Interesting.
The pendulum's movements are interpreted as energetic answers, giving you immediate feedback about the client's energetic state and readiness.
So it's a way to get real-time feedback on the client's energy.
Yeah.
The next phase is the diagnostic phase, which uses the emotional root cause and limiting belief chart.
Right.
This seems like the key stage for pinpointing what needs to be addressed at its core.
That's exactly it. This 15 to 20-minute phase is all about uncovering the root causes of the client's issues.
Okay.
You use the pendulum again,
Right.
this time, to scan for the root cause.
I see.
You ask a series of questions to see if the origin lies within the client's current life,
Okay.
their prenatal experience,
Right.
the period before conception,
Interesting.
inherited patterns from their lineage, or even a collective energetic imprint.
So it's not just about personal experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This Shimana Quantum Code recognizes that the root causes can go beyond just our individual lives.
Okay.
Once you've found a potential time frame,
Yeah.
you use the pendulum to find the specific trapped emotion that's contributing to the issue,
Okay.
and even the approximate age when that emotion got stuck.
Wow.
You also use it to identify any limiting beliefs or energetic blocks that are currently present and holding the client back.
So it's like energetic detective work.
It is.
With the pendulum as your main tool.
Exactly.
And once you've identified these trapped emotions and limiting beliefs, how does the Shimana Quantum Code release them?
Through a technique called palm meridian tapping.
Okay.
The client taps gently 3 times on the heart meridian point.
Right on the palm of the hand.
Exactly. While saying,
okay,
I now release the specific trapped emotion or limiting belief from all dimensions of time and space.
Wow.
Then you use the pendulum again to make sure it's been released.
That's a very direct and deliberate way to release those energies.
It is.
Okay, so after identifying and releasing these initial layers, the session moves into the Shimana Chamber of Healing, which sounds very evocative and maybe even symbolic.
Yeah, this is where the deeper energetic healing happens.
Okay.
Usually for about 45 to 60 minutes.
Right.
The practitioner guides the client into a relaxed and receptive state.
I see.
Often through guided imagery.
Okay.
The client imagines themselves lying on a luminous white bed above the sacred geometry of infinite love.
So you're reinforcing that protective and high-frequency environment.
Yes, creating the optimal space for deep healing.
And what happens in this visualized chamber?
Several key processes are activated. First, you activate the client's Merkaba energy field to raise their overall vibration.
I see.
Then you open the Shimana Stargate, letting 11th dimensional healing light in the crown and third eye chakras.
Right, the ones we discussed in the prep phase.
Exactly.
Okay.
The practitioner might also call upon ascended masters and galactic healers to help with the healing.
Okay.
Techniques like light codes, vibrational sound healing, and planetary healing frequencies might be used. Think of light codes as specific frequencies that activate healing in the body's energy field.
Interesting.
The practitioner observes how this healing light moves through the client's energy field. Paying attention to any organs or chakras that need attention.
Okay.
If you need ancestral healing, you invite the client's lineage to help release inherited patterns.
I see.
The client's soul is also given the chance to witness and release past life experiences that are contributing to their current issues.
Right.
Throughout this process, the practitioner may receive and channel divine guidance to help the client integrate the healing energies.
It sounds like a really profound experience.
It is.
Working on so many different levels.
Yes.
After this deep work in the Shimana chamber, the session moves into integration and closing.
Right.
That seems crucial to help the client come back to everyday awareness and make the healing stick.
Absolutely. This final 10-minute phase is about gently bringing the client back into their body and the present moment. Then you seal their energy field with a protective layer of golden light.
Right.
The practitioner gives them guidance for after the session, which might include affirmations, recommendations for crystals, or suggestions for activities to support the process.
I see.
You use the pendulum one last time to confirm whether the healing is complete for that session and if they might need more sessions. The session ends with a blessing. You are now restored to your original divine blueprint. You walk in the light of infinite love. All that you seek is already within you.
That's a beautiful way to end a session.
It is.
It seems like there are also important things the client should do after the session to continue the integration.
Yeah, they're vital for supporting the integration. They might include listening to a recording of the session several times over a few weeks to activate the healing energies again and reinforce the process. The practitioner might recommend specific crystals or essential oils for their energetic properties. The client is also encouraged to connect with their inner wisdom or spiritual guidance.
I see.
Finally, the practitioner makes sure the client is grounded by guiding them to visualize roots growing from their feet into the earth, strengthening their connection to reality. Then they close the session with a clear energetic marker.
Even if you don't practice the specific modalities, going through that detailed process really gives you a sense of how holistic the Shimana Quantum Code is.
It does.
And how much it emphasizes identifying and resolving the root causes of emotional and energetic imbalances, rather than just treating surface symptoms.
Exactly.
It really highlights the interconnectedness of our experiences, not just within our own lifetime, but potentially going back through generations and beyond. The book then gives a case study of a woman named Anna who had chronic anxiety and heart pain. This helps bring the principles of the Shimana Quantum Code to life. Can you tell us a bit about Anna's situation and the challenges she faced?
Anna was coming to, and she was dealing with constant anxiety, a tight feeling in her chest, and a heavy feeling in her heart. Doctors couldn't find any heart problems. So they figured her symptoms were emotional.
Interesting.
She had a history of emotional neglect as a child.
I see.
And she carried deep feelings of unworthiness.
So a heavy emotional burden that was showing up as physical symptoms.
Right.
How did a Shimana Quantum Code session address all of this for Anna?
The session with her followed the same structure we just talked about. They started with the preparation and grounding techniques. They activated her energy, connected with higher realms. And she set an intention to heal her heart and release the burdens of the past. Then they used the emotional root cause chart and the pendulum. The main emotions they found were unworthiness and grief. Traced back to prenatal trauma. Specifically, her absorbing her mother's sadness during pregnancy. They also found inherited fear and emotional suppression. From her mother's side of the family.
It's amazing how specific the pendulum can be.
It is.
Pinpointing these different layers and their origins. After that, they guided Anna into the Shimana healing chamber. A holographic image of her energy showed imbalances in her heart, chakra, and solar plexus. Then her spiritual guides and ascended masters appeared.
Wow.
They highlighted the specific imprints that needed to be cleared.
And then they started releasing these identified issues within the chamber.
Yes. They used palm meridian tapping. And gave clear commands to release the feelings of unworthiness and grief. Not only from her current life, but also from her DNA and her mother's lineage across all timelines. During this, she felt a physical sensation in her chest. A sign that her energy was shifting.
That's incredible.
Then they visualized cutting ancestral cords connected to the inherited trauma.
Replacing them with light-coded DNA upgrades.
Interesting.
Using something called Shimana light infusion.
They
checked with the pendulum to make sure these patterns were gone. Then they channeled a golden ray of divine intelligence into her energy field. Activating a new timeline filled with love, joy, and emotional freedom, which they sealed with light language activations.
It's like a very thorough cleansing process, addressing not just the individual, but their ancestral connections too.
Exactly.
What did they do for integration after the session?
They guided Anna to visualize golden roots growing from her feet, anchoring her to the earth. She felt lighter and peaceful right away.
Wow.
They told her to listen to the recording regularly. Work with a rose quartz crystal.
Which is good for heart healing. And to repeat an affirmation about her worthiness, healing, and wholeness every day. I see.
The Ascended Masters gave her guidance, encouraging her to embrace love and move forward with confidence, assuring her that her heart was free.
Wow, and what happened? Did it work?
A week later, Anna said the tightness in her chest was completely gone.
That's amazing.
She felt emotionally balanced, no longer triggered by the past, and she had lasting peace and self-worth.
That's a huge transformation in such a short time.
Yeah, it really shows the potential of this method to address deep emotional patterns and even ancestral trauma. It supports the idea that these energetic approaches can get to and resolve issues that traditional therapy might not.
Absolutely. Now, the book also talks about an accelerated healing session in Chapter 17. A key technique is Cortis's tapping. It's meant to quickly reset and harmonize the system. Can you tell us about the origins and principles behind Cortis's tapping?
Cortis's tapping comes from the body talk system.
A
holistic energy medicine that combines Eastern and Western ideas.
I see.
It was developed by Dr. John Veltheim, who started the body talk system. The main idea is to balance the left and right brain hemispheres. And help the body heal itself by improving communication pathways between its different systems and energy centers.
So it's about optimizing this internal communication network.
Exactly.
And how does Cortis's tapping do that?
By gently tapping on specific areas of the body. Sending signals to the brain, which can reconnect neural pathways disrupted by stress or trauma.
I see.
There's a specific sequence to make sure the entire brain is tapped in.
So it can fully heal and regulate itself.
Okay,
let's go through the steps.
Sure.
What's the first thing you do?
You set a clear intention.
Okay.
You could be specific, like physical pain or emotional stress.
Yeah.
Or general, like wanting to feel balanced. Intention focuses the energy of the technique.
So intention is key, even with something physical like tapping.
Exactly.
What do you do after setting the intention?
You position your hands.
Okay.
One hand goes on the back of your head at the base of your skull, fingers together and palm flat. The other hand is for tapping.
Right.
It creates an energetic connection.
Okay, one hand for grounding, the other for tapping.
Right.
Where do you start tapping?
At the top of your head.
Okay.
Tap gently for 5 to 10 seconds.
Right.
Take slow, deep breaths.
Okay.
This helps balance the left and right brain hemispheres.
Brain hemisphere synchronization through tapping?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
It is.
Wait.
Where do you tap next?
The center of your chest, over the heart.
Okay.
For another 5 to 10 seconds. Keep breathing deeply.
Right.
This integrates the balanced brain with the heart.
So mental and emotional aspects. First the head, then the heart, and
then your navel, the gut area.
Right.
Tap for 5 to 10 seconds. It activates the connection between the head, heart, and gut.
Harmonizing the intuitive center with the mental and emotional one?
Exactly.
So you move from the head down,
yeah,
then integrate the emotional and intuitive centers. What's next? You move the hand on your head up about 2 finger widths.
Okay. Towards the crown?
Yes. Without moving the tapping hand.
I see.
Repeat the tapping sequence.
Yeah.
Head, heart, gut. Keep moving your hand up and repeating.
Okay.
Until you've covered your whole head.
So you're systematically hitting different parts of the brain?
Yes.
What about the front and sides?
You do those too.
Oh.
Once you've covered the top, move your hand to your forehead, above your eyebrows.
Right.
Repeat the sequence. Head, heart, gut. Tapping the forehead is good for mental clarity, focus, and memory.
Okay.
For the sides, put your hands above your ears.
Okay.
Use one hand to tap the sequence.
Okay.
While the other stays as a contact point.
I see.
Tapping the sides releases old thoughts and limiting beliefs.
It's a very thorough sequence.
Yeah.
Addressing the whole brain and its connection to the body.
Right.
What's the last step?
Integration.
Okay.
Bring your tapping hand to your heart.
Right.
Tap softly one last time. Take a deep breath. Let the energy settle and integrate.
Right.
It harmonizes the brain balance with the rest of your body.
I see.
Creating full body alignment.
So it's about bringing the whole system into balance. Exactly. What are the benefits of doing cortices tapping regularly?
There are a lot.
Okay.
It can improve brain function.
I like how.
Better thinking, mental clarity, focus, and memory.
Okay.
It also promotes emotional balance,
Right.
by calming the nervous system.
Yeah.
Reducing anxiety, depression, and stress. Physically, it enhances healing,
Okay.
helps you recover faster from illness,
Right.
and improves circulation.
Interesting.
It can also reduce stress and anxiety in general
Okay.
by regulating the autonomic nervous system, support a healthier immune system,
Right.
and even improve sleep.
That's a lot of potential benefits.
It is.
Is there any scientific explanation for how tapping can do all that?
The book talks about neuroplasticity.
Right. The brain's ability to change and form new connections.
Exactly. The idea is that tapping wakes up inactive brain areas
Okay.
and helps reconnect those neural networks. It also activates the parasympathetic nervous system,
Right.
which is responsible for rest and healing,
I see.
counteracting the effects of stress.
Okay.
It also encourages brain coherence,
Right.
where the left and right brain hemispheres work together better, and it stimulates the vagus nerve,
Right.
which regulates things like heart rate, digestion, and stress response.
Interesting. So it works on multiple levels.
Yeah.
Neurological activity, energetic balance, and the autonomic nervous system.
Exactly.
The book then explains how cortices tapping is used in Shimana Quantum Code sessions for accelerated healing. How does it fit into that?
In the Shimana Quantum Code, it's a valuable part of an accelerated healing session, usually taking about 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
It aims to quickly reset and harmonize the body, mind, and spirit.
Okay.
It helps release blockages, trapped emotions, and limiting beliefs faster, and restores energetic balance.
I see.
You can use it at the end of a full Shimana session to integrate the healing,
Okay.
or as a standalone technique for a quick reset.
Are there any specific ways cortices tapping is adapted when used with the Shimana Quantum Code?
Yeah, the main difference is the focused intention and specific commands or affirmations.
Right.
You start by saying your intention out loud,
Okay.
directing the tapping to release anything that's no longer serving you.
Right.
The book gives examples, like releasing trapped emotions, limiting beliefs, subconscious fears, or energetic attachments.
Interesting.
While you're tapping, You say these release and reset commands.
Okay.
For example,
Yeah.
you might say, release all implants and limitations not aligned with my divine blueprint. Reset my nervous system to optimal balance.
Okay.
And reset my DNA to its perfect state of health.
Wow.
Or
Yeah.
realign all my chakras and balance the elements in my body, connecting my body and soul completely. You keep tapping while setting intentions.
Right.
To balance your energetic bodies.
Okay.
Connect with your higher self, Mother Earth, and the source, and reset and seal your aura for protection.
I see.
You finish by tapping your heart, then your head, while visualizing light flowing through you.
Right.
Then you say a grounding affirmation with your hands on your head and feet. You are grounded, balanced, and fully present.
So it's the same tapping technique, but amplified by specific commands and intentions.
Right. That align with the Shimana Quantum Code.
What are the benefits of using cortices tapping this way?
It leads to a faster and deeper release of energetic blockages.
Okay.
A more complete reset of the body's energy systems.
Including the organs, DNA, and meridians.
Yes.
Deeper harmony between your physical, emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual bodies.
Right.
A stronger connection to your higher self, the earth, and the source.
Right. And better grounding and protection from sealing your aura and balancing the elements in your body.
Right. It sounds like a powerful tool that can create big shifts on many levels, even without a full shamana session.
Yeah.
The basic cortices tapping seems pretty easy to learn and use for self-care.
It is. It's great for managing stress, improving well-being, and supporting your body's natural healing ability.
Totally. So to sum up, the Shimana Quantum Code is a structured and complete approach to